I think that too many people try and pretend that they're not there, that too many people try and pretend that there aren't problems, and that they try and pretend that they don't have a darker side, or they try, or a lot of people I think are ignorant to the fact that there are so many people out there whose lives are almost entirely like surrounded by that darkness type of thing, and that I think that it can't be something that people just like pretend isn't there and it'll go away. So I think it's important to make people aware of it, and that I don't think that that's morbid, like I think it's healthy.
I find time in you. I rest well with you. In my heart, I'm yours, you're mine. Until the end of time. Until the end of time.
Everybody has a life to explain. Everybody in this whole wide world, doesn't matter what culture we come from, there is a meaning to life.
Where am I going to put my head tonight?
Had nowhere to go that was dry or relatively safe.
And what am I going to put in my belly next, you know?
Yeah, I try not to, but sort of like the last resort.
I know I've stayed in a lot of different places, and not necessarily places, parks and stuff, but trying to stay awake all night so I don't have to sleep through the night to, you know, be scared that there's someone going to get me in the night, you know.
Why were you on the street at 16?
Money matters, problems I had at home, problems I had at different foster families that I'd stayed in. I was too old for any foster care placement, and I was now put into the independent living criteria. The place that they placed us in first, after we moved out of the children's home, was nicknamed Cockroach Castle, for obvious reasons. And the sort of people that lived there, you know, were alcoholics, ex-criminals, druggos, and you sort of didn't want to hang around that crowd. Either you'd end up hooking up into that sort of thing, drugs and alcohol all the time, or crime or whatever, or you just generally get beaten up by the people that live there. After there, you don't really have too far else to go because they don't teach you how to go to Housing Commission or real estate agents to get places. You really need money to buy food, to sometimes pay for getting your clothes washed. If you've got any medical conditions, like I was pretty bad asthmatic.
Why didn't you go home?
My old man and I we didn't get on. Yeah. I wouldn't wish to live here again, and I wouldn't wish it upon anyone to stay here.
I was 12 and I was in and out of home all the time. It was a complete communication breakdown in our family, and I don't know, it was both parties. I mean, I did a lot of rebelling. I was very rebellious. I think the main reason why, you know, sort of on the streets is because you do get kicked out of all the refuges. because of your behaviour and the way you think. No respect. Well, there's not much respect in a lot of kids because they don't see anything. They don't see a future.
That I would give you the opportunity to see where it was that I used to sleep a long time ago when I was about 12, 13. I was in the city because of a number of reasons on the streets.
Welcome to mine and Nikki's ex-backyard. The whole city was our backyard. Didn't think much of it. Sort of puts a bit of a brick in my chest every time I think of it.
Here there were steps, and the steps connected to a waterfall which was along the back there, where there's now apartments, hotel type thing. The waterfall at night time, the water would go underneath the steps, and of course under the steps it would be warm because the water was generating all the time. So myself and other streeties or homeless people called this the hot bricks, and that's going to bring back a lot of memories for some of the viewers that are watching this. We don't know what really to think of social people. Social people don't really know what to think of antisocial people, you know?
What do you mean social people?
Well, I don't know, the people that are walking past me right now, you know, are social people. They go out, they talk to each other, they gossip, they, you know, have parties, they do whatever. I couldn't possibly do those things in my life. Even though I'm pretty outgoing, it's just not my type of world. Come on, go for a walk. It's always first in, best dressed with this spot. Curl up in here, and like myself and Jack have curled into that. If I remember rightly, we used to get 7 or 8 on there. And in here, the possums keep you heaps warm. This is where a possum actually jumped on Jack's chest a few years back. So this was it. This is where I used to sleep.
For old time's sake, eh?
Yeah, it is different, isn't it?
Like, it's taken me 20 years to wake up to myself. I had an amphetamine problem, drinking problem, and now I'm rebuilding that trust with my sisters again. They still think I'm the same person I was 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I'm not that person, you know? I'm a person that's given it a really good try.
But I was sort of thinking, yeah, like if he sits so that he's, like, you know how he was right in the centre?
Yeah.
Like there. Yeah, that's great. He's sitting that way. If he looks out that way, there's extra space in the frame.
Yeah.
Whichever way someone's looking, you put more space in front of them.
Okay.
So that the audience feels like they're looking with him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Because I was kicked out of home again and living in me brown Datsun, sleeping down at Paradise River. Just chat and chat theories about the world and why shit happens this way and why people in the world's just fucked. And then we'd just end up crashing out down there, and we'd be up first thing in the morning, straight up, going to get some hot TCs, get some chips, have a mad mung of chips out there. And every Friday and Saturday night, me and Boggs and the rest of the boys would sit down in front of the pink van, which is like this Catholic or churchy estabulation that gives you free hot food. They always used to spin us out, try and, I don't know, lecture us on the way that life is. They had no clue. Like, the things that we were surviving on was the drugs to keep out the cold and to keep yourself company, was the drugs and the boys running amok. I was kicked out of home again and living in me brown Datsuns. Just chat and chat.
My life for me now is a lot clearer, especially without all the drugs and all the hassles and actually having a place to stay. Kind of gives you focus. Still pretty hard to get along with life, but that's life in general, because I never want to go back to where it was.
Bridge I'm at. It's where I was sleeping for a while I was on the street. A couple of times I'd have a fight with my mother or something and I'd have to come down here. like either it'd be too late to go to the refuge. Yeah, it was pretty scary. I spent most of my time thinking, and a lot of the time I was crying and stuff because, I don't know, I just didn't know what was going on. So I was just messed up, didn't know what to do. And that's when I started, like, yeah, getting into suicide and stuff. I first of all started overdosing. I had to be in hospital for a couple of days, and they put me back in the psych ward after that, after ODing. I OD'd 3 times, and they put me in the psych ward each time, thinking I was crazy and shit, not offering, like, any counselling or nothing. Yeah, everyone was always on my case, and, yeah, just wanted me to stop doing it. But they never asked me why I was doing it. They just told me to stop. But not once did anyone ever ask why I was trying to do it.
I think that the only thing that would help me is to, like, start again, like, just to start, like not even being born. Like, I think that's the only thing that would fix things for me, because I just think that everything's too screwed up now. It's too hard. I used to want to live in the stars. I wanted it to be nighttime forever. Lots of people, they just don't understand, like, how bad things can feel in itself. Like, even if you look alright to other people, everything still feels really bad.
I just feel like my whole world's tumbling, and there's just no way to get up from that position on the ground.
Not much. What about you?
I was going to a party. Come on.
No.
You alright?
Do you ever get that feeling like you're going insane? You turn around to see if anyone's there. You pray to God that someone will reach out to you.
It's really bad when I see people who don't have anyone, like, and you see people picking on it. It makes me feel like, you know, who gives them a right to say stuff like that when, like, what happens if their friends all turned on them and said stuff about them? They'd be so, like, they'd be devastated, and then they'd be in that person's position. But people don't think that. They're just like, oh, let's have a laugh, you know, this person's sitting by themselves. Like, there's this one girl at school who, like, they go, oh, she goes, do you know Gemma? And it's like, Gemma who? And they go, Gemma the one who cuts herself.
There's things going on in your life People keep causing you strife.
Because I hurt myself doesn't mean that I want to kill myself and die. It just means that sometimes I have trouble coping and find it easier just to do it that way because I don't want to take my anger out on other people.
That's right.
What's Kiri doing? Oh, look at her. Look at her. Oh my god.
What are you doing, you stupid bitch?
Are you going to go and join them?
Okay.
Fuck off, Kiri.
You're off your head.
World's fucked up, my dad's fucked up, it's all fucking shit, then you're dead and that's it. My mom's fucked up, I'm gonna fucking crack up, blow up, fuck up. Hey dad, you suck. Hey mom, you're so motherfucking fucked.
Hurry up.
I went up to my mum's last weekend just for a couple of days just to see how she was going and that. We went really good for like one of the first times in ages. Me and mum just clicked, because usually we were really just shit together. We couldn't sit down and have a talk or anything, and we just had a big long chat and that the whole weekend, and she cooked up breakfasts and dinners and stuff like that, and it just, oh mate, it was good because usually every single time I'd see her, something would be going wrong, either for me or for her. I've found myself now in that, and so we basically just, got along heaps good, and instead of storming out, I stayed the whole few days this time.
I then got a house of my own, which was really good. It's the first time because all I ever wanted was a house for myself.
Well done.
My way of dealing with things now is just to go, well, okay, this is the now moment, and might not be like this in 2 seconds' time or in 2 years' time, you know? It's just,
I'd never ever drawn a face without a tear. But as time's gone on and life's improved heaps, now I start drawing like emotions and things that explore the lighter side of life, I guess. I'm trying to explain to people what I feel and why I feel how I feel, and to try and help them come to a more informed judgment or whatever, instead of just labelling me what they think I am without really looking further into things.
I can be anything I want to be. and I believe in who I am.
Well, he's good at sports and things like that, running, football, everything he's good at, you know. But when he gets up to that school, I don't know, something happens. He just messes up and comes home and gets suspended. But they got to hear two sides of a story. That's what I always say. There's always two sides to a story.
When I was 6 there, my dad passed away, and then I found him there, and then my mum, she was outside there crying, and I was saying, what happened? She pointed in the house. I went in there, found my old man laying on the ground.
He lost his father when he was about 4 or 5. Ever since then, he's just, I think he's lost without him.
Went outside, sat on the thing, on the veranda, had a little talk to myself about Dad. I'm saying, Dad, I love you and I hope you come and see me when I'm asleep. And he always sit by my bed and he talks to me while I'm asleep and I can hear him, but I don't wake up.
He's looking after you.
He's been in and out of my care all the time, and he's been through some rough situations and things.
Went to my pop's and stayed there for a couple of months. Then I got back with my mum.
He's back with me now, and I'm just glad that he's back with me because that's, because sick of him going from place to place.
Why do you think you're not going to school?
Because I think about my dad. And I have bad dreams about him.
He's my first son, my baby. That's him really. And I'll be lost without him.
If my dad was here, he would tell me to knock off the yarnie and smoke, put me in football.
But all I want him to do is get back into football and running again because he's good little athletic and everything. He's real good when he wants to be. If he can really put his mind to things, he can do it. I always say and tell him that. And I'm glad that he's doing things like this because it's keeping him out of trouble.
You think he'd be proud of you? Telling you yeah?
Cut.
How was that, Mum?
Deadly.
And people who watches my film, tears come out of their eyes. People come up to me and say, oh, you made a good movie, Wayne. I say, yeah. I said, all right. That's why I trust you, because you trust us. And when we tell our story, you just think it's great and that. But I see a lot of white followers coming up and saying, you're that little fella in that movie. And I say, yeah. And they used to sit down and just tell me what's going down in their place, and I tell them what's going on with my future and that.
So that's my latest, not at home kind of stint. But I'll talk to you guys more later.